What's going on, guys, and welcome to the Beepingnerds, and I just realized something that I knew had to be changed. I have not done a top 10 video game thing. So I decided to change that. I decided, you know what, that needs to happen. So, I'm doing it. Simple as that. Now, for the reason why we haven't been uploading a lot of videos, I'm in school now. I'm starting to go to WSU, Washington State University, greatest school ever, 10 out of 10. It's good. And for one of my classes, my homework assignment for this week was to make a top 11 video games that I love. But I decided to do a little different. One thing that I know that I love is Nintendo. The Nintendo. Let's do it! For the first game, my list, I did Pokemon Stadium 2. Now, if you're like me as a kid, the Game Boy was a godsend from Nintendo. Playing your favorite Nintendo franchises on the go. And that is when Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Green from Japan, Gold, Silver, and Crystal came into my life. And holy crap, I have never been so into a video game franchise in my entire life. I swear to God, I've played Pokemon Red so long that I have a level 100 Mewtwo, a level 100 Charizard, and a level 120 Snorlax. Don't let me tell you I got that last one. I cheated. Pokemon Stadium was announced. You could finally play your Pokemon in 3D. And that's when Pokemon Stadium 2 came in along. Why Pokemon Stadium 2? I don't know. More Pokemon? Not only that, but they introduced the Steel and Dark type Pokemon, which really gave it a more challenge. And yeah, that's the game. Not only that, but you also got to play mini games with your friend, and you could see who was better at Togepi Runner. Which, by the way, I will destroy anyone who challenges me. Next on the list is Luigi's Mansion. Now, this is a huge game because it was the first game Luigi ever got to be the star character. In this game, Luigi won a mansion from a raffle he's never even entered in. Good job, Luigi. And it turns out that King Boo was behind all of it all along. And he also captured his brother Mario. Haha, you turned into a painting. And now Luigi must team up with Professor Egad with the Poltergeist 3000 and stop King Boo once and for all. This was nothing like a normal Mario game, considering all Mario games are always happy and go lucky. This one was pretty dark, and if I recall, it even gave me a couple of nightmares as a kid growing up. Something about walking down a dark hallway and seeing a ghost appear really freaked me out. And that's why this game will forever be held in my heart. Super Smash Bros. Melee. Why Super Smash Bros. Melee? I don't know. I like that one. The sequel after the well-reserved Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64, which sold a bunch of copies, finally got a sequel. And it was pretty good. More characters, an adventure mode, and even a very secret unlockable character like Mewtwo. This game was a blast, and I spent hours with my friends trying to collect all the trophies. Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Now, I don't know about you guys, but the first video game that I ever grew up was the original Legend of Zelda for the NES system. And boy, did I love that game. You boot it up and you don't know what the hell is going on. You're told to get a sword, you fight a few characters, next thing you know, you're fighting a dragon, you get a Triforce, you fight again, and oh my god, what is happening? But you know what? That's what made Legend of Zelda amazing. It came with a little map that also showed you where to go and what the enemies were called. See, we got a Moblin, an Armus, a Rock, an Octorok, a Rock. This game was mind-blowing, and in fact, it was the first video game to ever have a save file built into the game. With a game like this, you had to save, otherwise you'd be playing this frustratingly for hours until you got to the end. Once the Super Nintendo was finally released, they announced The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, and it was everything that the first game had, but better. But this game was bright, colorful, Link had pink hair, the weapons were unique, the characters were all memorable, and Ganon looked better than ever. Super Mario Sunshine. Now frankly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't play Super Mario Sunshine until like 2 years ago. And when people found out that I never played it, I got so much crap from everybody. Some people saying, dude, it's the best Legends of Mario Sunshine, it's the greatest game, 5 out of 10, 10, 500, 5. And then I had people going, it's okay. So I finally picked it up, and you know what? I actually really liked it. The whole usage of the FLUDD is really interesting, and it actually got me out of a couple of tight spots. When I saw Shadow Mario, it really gave me that sense of wonder of who could be marking up my good name and getting me in so much trouble when all I wanted to do was relax by the beach. Oh, and Mario has sleeveless shirt now, so that's a thing. On top of that, it was the first time the Mario characters ever got voices, and it's a little weird.
What's this icky paint-like goop? It's moving!
Not gonna lie. But on top of that, if you want a unique, open world Mario, I recommend this game. As long as you can admit that Yoshi throwing everywhere is probably the best thing that could have ever happened in the Mario franchise.
You know, just look at it, vomits too, you know.
Good on you, Nintendo. Pokemon Gold and Silver. Yes, we're going back to Pokemon. Back when I was saying that I was obsessed with my Pokemon Blue game, imagine how it was when Pokemon Gold and Silver was announced. That blew my mind. 100 new Pokemon to collect, a day and night cycle, being able to travel a new region, also going back to the original region, fighting the main character of the first 3 games, fighting brand new legendaries, and on top of that, 2 new Eevee evolutions. I was sold day 1. To this day, Pokemon Gold and Silver will forever be my favorite games. As much as I love the remakes for the DS, something about the original Game Boy is just so nostalgia-filled that I could never, ever replace them. Super Mario Maker. Now this game was just pure genius in Nintendo's side. A game where you take the original Super Mario from the NES, Super Mario 3 from the NES, Super Mario World from the SNES, and Super Mario Bros. U from the Wii U system. A way where you could take your creative minds and create some of the most unique Mario levels to ever come out. Back in the day of the NES years, Shigeru Miyamoto, the creator of Super Mario, even admitted that they had to create their levels hand-drawn. And now, with this game, we have the power to make anything we possibly imagine. You want a gigantic Bowser? Boom, you got it. You want a gigantic tank-looking mech thing chasing Mario? Boom, you got it. You want to spam a bunch of mushrooms that turn Mario into different characters? Boom, you got it. This game will forever change the lives of kids growing up with Mario and brand new kids who've never even heard Mario. To this day, people are still uploading levels, and there's millions of levels to choose from. With it being on the 3DS too, you can take your creative talent on the go. Now, if we could only get a Nintendo Switch port, please Nintendo, port it over to the Switch. I'm begging you. Next is Animal Crossing. Now imagine this growing up as a kid. hey man, you got this game coming out. It's where you move into a town and you see a bunch of animals and you do chores, you pick up shovels, you decorate your home and you plant flowers and it's fun. You want to buy it. And I'm just going, nah, I'm good. You know what? I saw it everywhere I went, whether it was commercials or friends talking about it. I eventually decided to go pick it up at Blockbuster. And then I renewed it. And then again. And again. And then I bought a copy. And that was my story. Animal Crossing is such a unique game that honestly no one has ever seen coming. If you told someone that there's a video game about chores, I bet you their odds they would never play it in a million years. But something about Animal Crossing is so relaxing. You could have a horrible day at home or work or school or wherever, and popping Animal Crossing in will make all those troubles go away. You start the game moving to a town of your name and choice and choosing, etc. You run into a guy named Rover who asks who you are and honestly just won't leave you alone. After a while, he talks to his friend named Tom Nook, and he says that, hey, he doesn't have a place to live, and do you want to help him out? And yeah, next thing you know, you're in your town. You meet Tom Nook, who enters you into a house and finds out that you don't even have close to enough bells, and that is where you are forever slave to work for him. After you do some manual labor and have to make up for the house that you just bought, you finally get to enjoy the game it's meant to be played. And although this is just the GameCube version that I'm talking about, there are updated Animal Crossings that are far more better, including the 3DS one that came out a few years ago, where you're the mayor of your town, and you can choose what goes and who lives there. It's really, really interesting, and I can't wait to see what Nintendo makes next for the next Animal Crossing, whenever that comes out. Super Mario 64. The game that changed everything. Although the PlayStation was out, I believe, a year before the Nintendo 64 came out, when Mario was shown first time in 3D, it changed the way Nintendo was going into the future. No more 2D, all 3D. No longer was the up button up, it was now forward. Just mind-boggling. Seeing Bowser in 3D, a Koopa in 3D, the Princess Castle, a Toad. It was just something to behold. Mario's job was to save Princess Peach after Bowser took over Princess Castle. You had to collect 120 Power Stars, or 70 if you just wanted to beat the game, and you got to explore unique worlds found in the paintings of many of the rooms of the castle. Sure, a lot of you guys have played this game, and I don't feel like I should talk about it that much, but if you haven't, it's just something you need to try. Especially if you're someone who grew up with the Mario we all know and love today, it'd definitely be cool to see where Mario started in 3D. Splatoon. In the years of where Call of Duty and Battlefront taking over, Nintendo made the approach of, how do we make a shooting game without violence? And that's when Splatoon came in. Splatoon is nothing like a normal shooting game is. The objective of the game is to shoot ink all over the turf, and whatever team has the most ink in the area is the winner. It's an all-out turf war, where the objective is not to shoot at each other, but to shoot at your surroundings. Within very interesting mini games, as well as online, and even a very unique story mode, this game is definitely worth picking up for the Wii U, or even the Splatoon 2 that just came out for the Nintendo Switch. And lastly, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Of course this was going to be my number one. This game is by far my most favorite Nintendo game that has ever come out. It took everything I loved about the original Legend of Zelda and made it into a 3D open world Skyrim based game where if you light a bush on fire, the fire will spread, causing a field to catch on fire, etc. You could tame your own horses, cook your own meat, travel anywhere. You can even fight Calamity Ganon right when you start the game. The possibilities are endless, and to this day, people are still finding out things you can do in Breath of the Wild that I didn't even know were possible. With the art style between Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword, it gives it this cartoony look which just fits this game perfectly. For the first time ever, there's voice acting in The Legend of Zelda, and I gotta admit, Zelda sounds fantastic. But of course, Link doesn't talk. The hero of time that will never speak a word. And that's it, guys. That's my top 11 video games. And to be honest, I know it was very short and it was not scripted whatsoever. It's just something that I wanted to give my personal quick opinion of why I love these games. And I didn't want to be that kind of guy that's like, oh, I'm going to write a script and make sure this is highly detailed. No, this is straight coming out of my brain from the heart. And it's another reason why I love Nintendo. I will always love Nintendo, and I will always love all the games that Nintendo give us. In fact, I love all the systems, and I have most of them, from the NES to the Super Nintendo to even the Virtual Boy. I can't wait to see what Nintendo comes up with their new system, the Nintendo Switch. I can't wait to see what next year comes around with, and I wish you all love and gaming, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Stay nerdy, guys. Have a good one.